I'm in a pretty good mood with everything that's been happening today. And that being the case, I figure we can try to at least look for the silver linings and the positives as we take a look at what happened in Texas this week with the fucking weather, man. Houston homes
I like that,
aren't
G.
built.
I like to hear this.
They ain't built for this kind of cold. Here's why. You ain't got to read the article. I'll tell you why. Because it's never, ever been this cold down here, ever. I've lived here my whole life. It has never been this cold. I've never seen this much snow. I've never seen this much ice. This is the coldest it's ever been here. We were not
Never
prepared.
seen single-digit temperatures.
No, it's the coldest I've ever seen here. But you know what, man? When stuff like this happens, people got to get creative to try to keep their spirits up if they can. This man used his 2021 Ford F-150 to heat his house during a blackout. They got all kind of power outs and USB outs and shit on these new trucks. Look, you can plug in legit Edison power into the bed. He just ran that motherfucker out there and used it like a generator. It ain't no worse than a gas generator. Plus, it got a radio. You know what I mean? I had to tell you, that's not dope. It's not all bad out there. Things have gotten a little weird. Here's another picture from Houston, Texas. Oh, the loads. Terrific.
The loads.
Oh, boy. And this is the only part of this whole segment that's fake news.
On your boy.
Wildlife photographer captures never-before-seen yellow penguin right here in Houston, Texas. Way too cold for the birds here. Way too cold. They're scared. Turned them yellow. You know what I mean? You know what, Duel? Let's just cut that whole section of this segment, man, with the lows and all that. Fuck this yellow penguin. Like I said, though, man, this guy heated his house with his fucking F-150. You got to get creative to keep your spirits up, man. Are you kidding me now? Come on. All right, here we go. A video of Houston man skiing on icy highway goes viral. Many of you out there, I'm sure, live in some proximity to the largest freeway in the United States, which of course is I-10. I-10 also goes directly through the middle of Houston, Texas. This is a shot of I-10, which has never been iced before, never been snowed on before like this. And some local guys decided to give old Florida man down here a run for his money. All right. Smoking a cigar and drinking a beer. Hell yeah, man.
That's a goddamn American hero right there.
Hell yeah.
That's what you call America.
Don't get hit. Oh, video on it. We got it just in time, man. We saw that excellence just in fucking time. Got cut off live. Holy shit. But you know what? Regardless, there are still real problems, man. It's getting a little better now. But, you know, we've got problems with water, too. Wasn't just cold, wasn't just electricity being off. We lost water pressure to the mains, and now everybody's water is dirty. We're under a goddamn boil advisement down here. But when you look, you'll always be able to find people in Texas that keep that high spirit going. No pun intended. You'll be able to find people in Texas that are there helping. That's always the case down here. Look at this. Get free drinkable water at Houston area breweries. Let me ask you something, Phil. Who's got a big-ass pot they can boil water in to make it safe to drink?
Breweries,
a brewery, man. Fuck yeah. Nice work, Houston breweries. Who else is out there helping right now? Who else is out there helping? 1 million gallons of FEMA bottled water bound for... Man, FEMA, you too late. We already got it down here. FEMA, you're too late as usual. But you know what? Nonetheless, glad to have it coming down that way. People of Austin, even though they didn't have fucking water, they're having to get it shipped in by the federal government, which is goddamn near a sin here in Texas. Still, you will always find people in Texas that are out there helping. Strangers took in a delivery driver for 5 days after she got stranded in a Texas storm. Somebody was delivering to this couple's house in fucking Austin, got stranded during the storm. They let her stay there for 5 fucking days, man. Nice. Good on you out there. That's what I like to see, Texas. And it's not just them. You know who else is out there helping? This Houston taco truck came to feed 800 families without power or water. They had a fire going in there, a legit fire grill. They had a gas grill, right? Made a fire in there, not even charging. They're just out there feeding people who cannot get food or water right there.
That is awesome.
You love to see it. You love to see it, Texas. And I'll tell you what else. You know who's in on this already. My main man, Mattress Mac. Open stores for Houstonians during dangerous winter storm to say we're here for him. You know how Mattress Mac does. My girl told me she drove by there today on her way to work. He's got a bunch of food trucks out there feeding people for free. He's letting people sleep on his mattresses. He's running his heater up to a crazy fucking amount of money. He's doing everything he can as per usual. That man is a local hero. But I tell you what,
right.
it's not just guys like this. You can always find people helping in Texas. When a busy HEB lost power, the store told Texans, just take whatever you've got in your fucking cart and go.
Wow.
Just take it and go. We can't take your credit card's powers out, and we don't want to fuck everybody over. So, I mean, I can't imagine how much money that is at a time. Everybody that's in a crowded grocery store, and just however much they've got in their carts, just take it and go. Just take it and go. Thank you, HEB. That's why you're my fucking store. That's why you're my fucking store, man. Shit like this right here.
That is heroic. That is the thing to do during
You love to fucking see it.
Fucking disaster.
Dude, shit's got so rough down here this week that even Joel Osteen opened his fucking church up to let people in. And they're right. Hell must have frozen over. Jesus Christ. Out of even goddamn Joel, I guess he didn't want any more negative PR after what happened
he couldn't
during
afford
the
any more
fucking
shit.
hurricane. Holy shit. But even goddamn Joel Osteen is down here helping. You will always find people helping each other in Texas. That's why we make it through shit like this, man. And just in time to be way too late, Biden declares major disaster in Texas after more than 14 million people are told they have to boil their water after a power failure. Yeah, thanks, federal government. We know. Actually, we already know.
Again,
we
a day
knew this
late and
already.
a dollar short.
Yeah,
you
this
know?
article is from the 20th today. Yeah, we know, federal government. We're aware of what's going on down here, man. Holy shit.
Thanks
but
for
you know
giving
what?
us news from 2 days ago, jackasses.
Like I said, man, worst is behind us. It was decent today. Most people have power again. The ice is melted. A lot of the city still didn't have clean water. We're getting there. We're working on it, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna, nature will heal. We will fucking get back to it. Dozens of Houston restaurants returned to service after the storm. Bang. And by the way, can I say that tray of I don't know, fajitas and sausage and chicken and whatever's going on that plate, I want that. But I want to go to wherever that is and buy that immediately.
Oh, man, I want that now.
Holy shit. Not just them. Grocery stores say they'll be back to normal in about a week. Just got to get the supply chain hooked back up. That's great. That's what you like to see down here. That's good news, man. And so, that being the case, here are the top 8 things to do in Houston this weekend. Number 1. Watch the Fright Power Hour. Number 2, watch the Fright Power Hour.
How do we get on that
Number
list?
3, watch the Fright Power Hour. Number 4. You know what I'm saying.
I don't watch the Fright Power Hour.
Well, then you're... Yeah, exactly. Bam! And then he runs him over with a steamroller. Dude, maybe that's what they should be. Commercials for the Fright Power Hour. And the idea is that if you don't watch this show, you get shot. I like it. Although, I got to say, Whalekins coffee is pretty great. It's pretty great, man.
Some people learn, some
But
don't.
like I say, even after being out of the fucking woods here, man, there still could be some problems coming down the pipe. Unfortunately, a lot of our power companies have deals with their fucking generational power suppliers that are based on supply and demand, much like a barrel of oil would be. You know what I mean? So price can fluctuate significantly. And when generation plants started freezing over this week, supply went way down and people needed to heat their house at the same time. Demand went way up. So that made the algorithmic price for those things skyrocket very fucking quickly. And now some people in Texas are having big problems. Gritty, customer in Houston, slapped with $5,500 power bill this week.
She did not drink Wilkins coffee.
She surely didn't. And it gets worse as Texas deep freeze subsides. Some households now face electricity bills as high as $10,000.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Run your AC 24/7 in the summer.
Yeah, that's
It's
a big nope.
because they charge you 100 times more than normal for a kilowatt hour. It's not even really based on usage. Usage is going to be a little high, sure, for your heater. But that's not what's putting it over. It's because that cost per kilowatt hour was determined by an algorithm that watches supply and demand, and it fucked people over. It fucked people. It gets worse. Some Texas residents see electric charges jump as much as $14,000. That's a car. That's a used car. $14,000, man. Holy Christ.
That shit.
Dude, so, you know, when you look for the who's to blame for this aside from the storm? Some people want to go all over the place. Say it's this guy's fault, it's that guy's fault. It's really not. It's really
it's
not
society's
fault. A lot of people have some very strange information here. Bill Gates says trade-offs in Texas lead to deaths. Well, thanks, guy that doesn't live in Texas. I really appreciate your fucking opinion. His suggestion, when it became obvious that wind power failed during this because the fan blades froze over, was that in fact it was the coal burning plants that had the freezing issues and didn't generate power. Everybody wants to say, oh, it was the other guy's fault. The reality of it is it was all of those things, man. It did, in fact, cut down our gas power generational capacity. It did. It did freeze our wind power capacity. It did. That's why it's very important to have what they would call a diverse energy generation portfolio when it comes to generating for a place as big as Texas. Everybody wants to get on this bandwagon where it's got to be all one or another. Oh, it's either all renewable energy or it's all fossil fuels. You're idiots. That has never worked with any other transition of a fucking system. We need a little bit of everything right now, and God forbid you give people the power to choose where they want to get their electricity from. That would be capitalism. Oh no. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, still, we're looking for who created this problem. Who created this problem for us? Texas power grid came within seconds of catastrophic failure, ERCOT officials say. Really don't like that. Really don't like that acronym, ERCOT. That, of course, stands for Electric Reliability Council of Texas. Those are the people that buy power for the state, or they're basically the brokers for the power, right? They sell it to the people that own the lines, in our case, that's CenterPoint, and then sell it to your provider, who rents space on those lines to provide a pipeline to send power to you, right? These guys are above all of that. And they're saying it came within seconds of catastrophic failure. That sounds to me like you weren't prepared for everybody to use their power at the same time. You know how when there's a national emergency and everybody tries to use their phone at the same time, suddenly the cell phones don't work? Not because they're down, but because the cell phone companies plan for you to never get to capacity. That's where they're shaving off some of that cost on their end to take more of your money. And that's exactly what ERCOT did here. And isn't it interesting to think that they would suddenly start shifting things that way? Big businessmen that just recently moved into Texas, like Tesla CEO Elon Musk, slams Texas Energy Agency as unreliable. They are not earning that R. That's right. The R stands for reliability, and that is not so much the case this week. It's more like fucking rim shot. More like fucking rim shot. Now, we're not going to watch it on here. It was a long clip from CNN that Phil and I watched, but I swear to Christ, they got the goddamn CEO from ERCOT on CNN and started grilling him about it. That motherfucker blamed the users. It was, oh, you guys are using too much power. We weren't ready.
Yep.
And he's trying to say that they told motherfuckers they were ready ahead of time. And then the girl grills him on CEO, and he's like, well, we were actually, what we meant to say was that we were ready for there to be outages. We were ready to turn your power off, not we were ready to supply enough power for the state to get cold. You know what I mean?
Which is their job.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. So here's an interview in Texas Monthly with the president and CEO of ERCOT, Bill Magnus, and it's more of the same. I'll spare you the reading, and you can watch the CNN interview for yourself. He dances around it quite a bit, but he very freely admits they were in no way, shape, or form ready for this, that their plan, their protocol, in case something like this happens, is to turn your power off. That is their safety protocol. To just turn you off until they can fix their shit for themselves. Oh.
They learned that from PG&E.
Yeah, very much shades of PG&E, man. So when you ask me, whose fault is it, blah, blah, people want to blame, the governor or Ted Cruz or the fucking this power company or the wind company. But it ain't none of these people's fault. You want to blame somebody? Here you go right here, friends. This is the guy to blame. Bill Magnus, president and CEO of ERCOT. This is the guy who did not set Texas up with enough of a surplus amount of power to deal with a national emergency on this scale. I shudder to think what is going to happen to us the next time we have a serious hurricane season.
I'm not a criminal. I'm an artist working in an unpopular medium. Can I just speak to you? I mean, really speak to you like man to man. I've known you for a long time, William. And I know about your penchant for spying on women.